Today we're going to have a look at the Hollywood series Christine model by Johnny Lightning. Now if you're a longtime subscriber to the channel, you may recall we featured this casting a few years back, and I expressed my extreme dislike for the casting. I shouldn't have to mention it, but just looking at it, you should be able to tell. This casting is horrible. The wheel alignment is way off. Notice the front tires, front and rear. This is how it came from the factory. Initially, I thought it was a defect, but looking online, they're all exactly the same. I'm not sure what Johnny Lightning was really thinking with this. It doesn't even come close to resembling the real car, aside from the fact that it's red. Now you may notice ours has a bit of gold on the top. This is the car I used to practice some of the gold leafing with. Today, we're going to perform an extreme customization on this particular casting. I encourage you to stay tuned throughout the entire video. We're going to use some unconventional methods to actually restore this car, but they are proven methods. So be sure to watch the entire video. I think everyone's going to be pleased with the end result. So let's begin. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're already familiar with the 64 scale die-cast customs. Every casting has what we like to call a rivet, which in reality it's just a post that's been mushroomed out to hold the base onto the body. I'm going to go ahead and remove that mushroom portion so we can remove the base from the body. I don't want to scuff up the base too bad, so we're going to use a precision tool, a die grinder. I have an aggressive metal cutting blade on this. Now if you look closely, you may be able to see some slight scuff marks, but for the most part, you can never tell that grinder's been there. We're going to chuck the casting back in the vise and remove the base. And use a screwdriver to do so. Now you may have to push these tires a bit out of the way, but you shouldn't damage them too much. We can always come back and fix that. Look at that. Perfect base. Now you get a close look at those posts. We're going to chuck it back in the vise, take our file, and grind those down a bit. We're going to go ahead and remove the casting from the vise. Oh, shit. We'll get this out no problem. Now I do have some body work to attend to. We're going to use our trusty hammer and dolly and get it as good as new. Getting there. A couple more whacks and should be good. That's as good as new right there. Look at that. You never tell it was crushed. Typically, I remove the paint using a aircraft stripper or a citrus strip on these die-cast customs, but this is an extreme custom. I don't really want to get rid of all the paint, I just want to scuff it up a bit. So we're going to use our grinder. Gotta wait a bit. There we go. And that's almost perfect. I need to do a bit more grinding and we'll be ready for paint. Now that's perfect. I had a slight imperfection right here that I wanted to remove. You can never tell anything was done. Now we're going to focus our attention to the interior and then we'll paint the body. This interior is going to be something you've never seen before. We're going to do a wood grain interior. Go ahead and apply some wood glue. And you notice here we have a stash of wood shavings from the dust collector. Custom wood grain interior. Look at that. Complete wood grain, seats, everything. We've given the interior a bit to dry. we're going to start the reassembly process. I put our interior back in here. Got a slight bend. I have to bend it back out. There we go. Perfect. Then we put our base on. And now we're going to have to reattach it. Look at that. It's already looking great. I'm out here in the garage and I've been thinking, what is the most factory way to reattach this base? Well, lucky for us, we have a welder out here. We're going to weld the base back to the body. And remember folks, it's a good idea to keep all of your wood grain shavings around the vehicle while welding, especially if it's cold outside in the garage. This way you can warm up with a nice fire. Look at that. Beautiful. Still a little warm, but it is attached somewhat. I mean, this is just, I don't even know if this needs paint. It's beautiful. If you watch the videos, you'll notice typically I would spray something through an airbrush. This time, we're going to use the dip method. Look at that. And then we're going to put some clear on this. Beautiful job. Now once I've given the paint enough time to dry, we're going to dip it in some clear. Next we're going to heat this up for a nice hardened finish. We'll show you how we're going to do that. Now it is a little cold and windy. It's about 31 degrees, but for such a unique custom, go ahead and take drastic measures. Went ahead and started a fire in the fire pit. We're going to go ahead and cure the paint using the fire pit. Go ahead and move that in a little bit more towards the heat of the fire. That way we can get a good bake. There we go, nice and tucked in there. That way it'll take on a nice rock hard finish. We'll let it bake or fry in this case for 20 or 30 minutes, or at least until the fire dies down. And then we should be done. Should end up with a very, very beautiful custom. Okay, we've let this bad boy sit here for about an hour. This is looking beautiful. Now it's pretty obvious that the fire locked in that paint really well. Give it a rock hard finish and look at the chassis. I mean, it's better than new, as well as all the bodywork. I could not be more pleased with the result. Now more than likely I'm not going to use this method often. I'm going to go back to my conventional method of restoring and customizing Hot Wheels. But at least I know now this method works, and works very well. Now if you have any questions or comments regarding this extreme customization, be sure to post those in the comments section below. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. Click that bell, that way you're notified of each video that comes out. I'd like to give thanks to all my patrons, but special thanks to my top patrons, which are Mark Kidd, Corbin Toll, and Rob at Matchbox Garage. If you'd like to support the channel on Patreon, be sure to check out the links that are located below the video in the description. And by the way, in case you're confused, don't forget to check out what today's date is. As always, thanks for watching.